バランスをどう取っていくかというのが非常に課題が大きいということになっています。
There have been efforts to improve the eel population, like
when
regulating fishing, releasing adult eels back into the water, and researching how to hatch eels in farms. But the future of Japanese eels remains
$8 or more. Lobsters are considered a gourmet dish today, but there was a time when they were known as the cockroaches of the sea, and even served to prisoners. So when did lobsters become such a delicacy, and why are they so expensive? There are a lot of species of lobster, but we're interested in the recognizable clawed lobsters you might see on the menu, Homarus americanus and Homarus gammarus.
Understand, is in a pound-and-a-half lobster, there's probably only 4 ounces of meat out of a hard-shell lobster. So there's not much yield that comes out of the lobster. So when you're cleaning the lobster yourself to make lobster rolls, it really turns into a very, very expensive product.
To fully understand what makes lobsters so expensive, we need to take a look at its history. Because in the Viking era, lobsters as food became much more popular in Northern Europe, as boats more suited to deep-sea fishing became available. And by establishing meat-free days for certain religious holidays, the church also increased demand for seafood, including lobster. Across Europe, lobsters became associated with status and a lavish lifestyle, and they were often featured in paintings to show wealth. But the value of lobster remained low in North America. Native Americans used lobsters as fishing bait and crop fertilizer, a practice that European colonists later copied. During the 1600s, American lobsters were dirt cheap because they were so plentiful. Lobster became known as the poor man's protein among European settlers, and the shellfish was often served to imprisoned and enslaved people.
Little did I know.
That reputation in the US didn't turn around until the advent of railway transportation in the mid-1800s. Lobsters started to be served on trains across the country, and passenger-made dish often associated with living the high life.
You're pushing that razor down harder than pregnant mums.
Even when the supply of these crustaceans is high, the price doesn't drop due to the logistics involved. Successfully catching lobsters is no easy task. They're caught using traps, which have to all be baited and dropped to the ocean floor. Even if the traps are full when the lobstermen return, they might have to throw a lot back due to regulations. The crustaceans are put back if they're too big, too small, or if they're female lobsters carrying eggs. The ones that make the cut have their claws bound and are placed on ice before being taken back to shore. They're then kept in saltwater tanks and shipped live.